Hi students, welcome to Sankalp Study Success. I am Tirupati Rao. Today I am going to explain about electrochemistry second part. So electrochemistry can be explained in two parts. Part 1 can be explained in the previous video. So I discussed in the previous video electrochemistry part 1. So in this video I will discuss about electrochemistry part 2. Right. So in the previous video I discussed about electrochemical cells, reference electrodes and standard hydrogen electrode and Nernst equation concentration cells. But in this video, first of all, I will discuss about electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell. So in this cell, the electrical energy is converted to chemical energy. In this cell, the electrical energy is converted to chemical energy. So before going to electrolytic cell, first of all, electrolysis. What is electrolysis? Electrolysis. What is electrolysis? So first of all, we can write its definition that we'll discuss later. The process of occurring chemical reactions at the electrodes during passing of current. During passing of current through electrolyte. Is known as electrolysis. So the process of occurring chemical reactions at the electrodes during passing of current through electrolyte is known as electrolysis. First of all, we can draw a diagram. So in the electrochemical cell, two half cells can be taken, but in the electrolysis process, we can take in only one cell, one half cell, one electrolyte cell. So this is the electrolytic cell. So this is containing electrolyte. And here the two electrodes are dipped in this electrolytes. So the two electrodes are same electrodes. So generally here the inert electrodes are used. Inert electrodes, that electrode cannot react with like electrolyte. So that is said to be inert electrodes. So these electrodes are connected with battery, like plus, this is minus. Okay, so this is act as a anode, this is act as a cathode, right? So this is the electrolytic cell. In the electrolytic cell, two electrodes are dipped in its relative electrolyte. So these two electrodes are connected with battery. So this is the anode, this is the cathode. So the process of occurring of chemical reactions at the electrode during the passing of current. So current pass చేస్తాం. current pass చేస్తే ఇక్కడ electrodes దగ్గర ఏమవుతుందంటే chemical reactions అనేవి జరుగుతున్నాయి. So So which type of chemical reactions are occurred in this electrolysis? First of all, so at anode we can take an anode. This is cathode. At anode oxidation can be takes place. At anode oxidation can be takes place. At cathode reduction can be takes place. Cathode reduction can be takes place. We know that. So in electrolytic cell, anode is considered as positive and cathode is considered as negative. But in the electrochemical cell, anode is considered as negative, cathode is considered as positive. Okay, what is the difference between these two cells? In the electrochemical cell, anode is considered as negative, cathode is considered as positive. But in electrolytic cell, anode is considered as positive, cathode is considered as negative. Right. So in the electrolyte, ions are there. So A plus, B minus. So these positive ions, here positive ions and negative ions are. Positive ions are migrated towards cathode and negative ions are migrated towards anode. What happened? Here the negative ions are migrated to, negative ions are migrated towards anode and positive ions are migrated towards cathode. Right, at anode and cathode. So during the electrolysis, discharge of the ions at electrodes can be takes place. At the electrode, discharge of ions can be takes place. First of all, we can take an suppose we can take an molten or fused NaCl. So it is ionized to NaCl is ionized to Na plus and Cl minus. Na plus and Cl minus. So this is the positive ion, this is the negative ion. So the positive ion is migrated to cathode and Cl minus is migrated to anode. At anode, first of all we can write at anode Cl minus gives rise to of Cl2 plus electron. So if the Cl minus is discharged at anode, give chlorine gas. At cathode, positive ion is attracted. So what is that? Na plus attracted to the positive. So it gains electron, gives a sodium. Here Na plus is discharged at cathode like Na. So during the electrolysis, the discharge of ions can be takes place at electrodes. If you can take a fused NaCl, that is ionized to NaCl, NaCl gives rise to Na plus and Cl minus. At anode, oxidation can be takes place. Here losing of electron can be takes place. At cathode, gaining of electron can be takes place. So during electrolysis, discharge can be takes place at discharge of ions can be takes place at electrodes. So according to preferential discharge potential theory, preferential discharge potential theory, according to discharge potential theory, when the electrolyte containing two or more cations and anions, like if we can take an aqueous NaCl, so that aqua NaCl is ionized to Na plus and Cl minus, and aqua means water, that is also ionized to H plus and OH minus, Here two positive ions are there, Na plus and H plus. Two negative ions are there, So H2O can be ionized to H plus and OH minus. Here two cations and two anions are there. Here two cations like Na plus and H plus and two anions like Cl minus and OH minus. So in the two cations, which is discharged first at cathode, and in two anions which is discharged at first at anode. So according to preferential discharge potential theory, according to preferential discharge potential theory, if the two, according to discharge potential theory, two or more cations and anions present at electrode for cations or anions. So what is that? Listen to me. For cations, that cation having more reduction potential, that cation having more reduction potential, which is discharged preferentially. This is discharged first. This is discharged first. So for anions, the anion containing having less E0 or reduction potential, which is discharged first, which is discharged with preference, which is preferentially discharged, which is discharged first. So this is very, very important point. According to preferential discharge potential theory, two or more cations and anions are present at electrode. For two cations are present. For cations, which cations having a more reduction potential, that is preferentially discharged. If two or more anions are presented at electrode, which is having less reduction potential, that anion having less reduction potential, so that is discharged preferentially, right? So according to this theory, here some reduction potential increasing order of cations are given, and some reduction potential of increasing order of for anions are given. So if we can take an aqueous NaCl, in aqueous NaCl, two cations are there, Na plus and H plus, which is discharged. So H plus and Na plus, which is more reduction potential, H plus having more reduction potential, so that is discharged at anode. So at anode, so H plus is discharged first. In Na plus and H plus having more reduction potential than Na plus, so that is discharged first. H plus gains one electron, gives rise to of H2, right? At cathode, so here two anions are there, Cl minus and OH minus. In these two anions, which is having lesser reduction potential, this is OH minus, this is having a Cl minus. So Cl minus having less reduction potential, so that is discharged first. So here Cl minus gives rise to of Cl2 plus 1 electron. So this is the reaction. Okay, what are the products at anode and cathode during the electrolysis of aqueous NaCl? That is important. What are the products obtained at anode and cathode during the electrolysis of aqueous NaCl? So at anode hydrogen is obtained, at cathode chlorine gas is obtained. This is the discharged preferential theory. Okay, in the electrolysis, if we can take another like aqueous AlCl3, So aqueous means AlCl3 is ionized to Al3 plus and 3Cl minus, and aqua like H2O gives rise to H plus and OH minus, right? Or this, here two cations are there, Al3 plus and H plus. So in this, which is having a higher reduction potential, H plus, so that is produced at anode, and two anions like Cl minus and OH minus, two anions are present. In these two, which is having a less reduction potential, Cl minus having less reduction potential, right? That is discharged first. So for aqueous AlCl3 also same products are obtained at anode hydrogen, at cathode chlorine. If we can take an aqueous copper sulfate, right? So copper sulfate can be ionized to Cu2 plus SO4 2 minus, Cu2 plus and SO4 2 minus. Aqueous H2O can be ionized to H plus and OH minus. So in these two cations, Cu2 plus and H plus, so which is having more reduction potential, Cu2 plus having more reduction potential than H plus. Yes, so that can be reduced first. Cu2 plus gains 2 electrons, gives rise to Cu. At cathode, here two anions are there, SO4 2 minus and OH minus, SO4 2 minus and OH minus, which is having less reduction potential, OH minus. So that is discharged first. Here 4 OH minus gives rise to 2 H2O plus O2 plus 4 electrons. So this is the chemical reaction occurred at cathode, right? Now we can write electrolysis of some aqueous and fused electrolytes, and what are the products obtained at cathode and anode. During the electrolysis of some electrolytes, these are the electrodes, platinum electrode and graphite and silver electrodes can be taken. This is platinum, this is also platinum, right? So these are the products occurred at anode and cathode. Already we know that NaCl, so that can be already written at cathode Na is deposited and anode Cl2 is released. So similarly all these solutions, Al2O3, so Al2O3 and cryolite, this can be used in metallurgy. So Al2O3 plus cryolite, what is the cryolite? Na3Al F6. Here how it is ionized? 3Na plus, Al3 plus and 6F minus. Here F minus and OH minus both are there, which is having a less reduction potential, that is ionized. Okay, in the first of all we will discuss about two cations and anions. Okay, here two cations, what are that? Na plus and Al3 plus. So this Al3 plus is having more reduction potential, so that is reduced first. And here fluorine, only fluorine ion is present, oxygen and fluorine. So this fluorine having less reduction potential, that is discharged first. Al2O3 can be ionized to Al3 plus and O2 minus. So here fluorine F minus. In these two, which is having a lesser reduction potential, chlorine. So that is discharged to anode, right? That means 2F minus gives rise to F2 plus 2 electrons, right, in this way. So this is also over. And aqueous AgNO3 at silver electrodes, one electrode undergoes oxidation. So here the two Ag electrodes can be taken, and the electrolyte is also AgNO3. Here in this case, this is the special case. Here the silver undergoes, this anode, what is that? Silver, that is undergoes oxidation, Ag plus and 1 electron. So at anode Ag plus is obtained. At cathode So it is ionized to AgNO3, aqueous AgNO3 is ionized to Ag plus and H plus. So in H plus and Ag plus, which is having more reduction potential? Ag plus. That is Ag plus gains one electron, gives rise to Ag. That is obtained at cathode. Similarly, this also. Okay, here H2S2O4, that is ionized to H2SO4 is ionized to H plus and HSO4 minus. At anode, so 2HSO4 minus, okay, 2HSO4 minus gives rise to H2S2O8 plus 2 electrons. At cathode, 2H plus gains 2 electrons, gives rise to H2. So this is at cathode. So this is the electrolysis of different electrolytes at different electrodes. So that gives you a different products at electrodes, different products at electrodes, right? So this is the electrolysis of electrolytes at different electrodes. Now I am going to explain about Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Faraday's laws of electrolysis. Faraday's laws of electrolysis. So first of all, we will this is contained in two laws. First law, we will discuss about first law. According to first law, so already we are studying. This is the electrolysis. This is the electrode. So here some substance are deposited at electrodes. Some substance are deposited at electrodes. Right. That weight of substance. The weight of substance is how it is varies with passing of current. So here current is in the electrolytic cell, the electrical energy is converted to chemical energy, right? So how the varies of substance deposited at electrode is passing through the current. That is the first law of Faraday's. So the amount of substance deposited at electrode, so first of all we can write its definition. The amount of substance deposited at electrodes, the amount of substance deposited at electrodes is directly proportional to passing of quantity of electrical charge, passing of quantity of electrical charge through electrolyte during electrolysis. So this is the definition. Suppose W amount of substance is deposited at electrode when Q quantity of charge is passed through the electrolyte. Okay, that weight of substance, that amount of substance is like a W is directly proportional to quantity of electrical charge, we can say Q. So W is directly proportional to Q. W is equal to ZQ. So this is said to be right, chemical equivalent. Z is equal to chemical equivalent. So its value is Z is equal to equivalent weight by valency or charge, like E by F. So here F is 1 Faraday. So W is equal to E by F, and Q is equal to I is equal to, we know that Q by T. I is equal to current, I is equal to charge by time. This is charge by time. So therefore Q is equal to IT. So this can be written IT. So later we know that 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs. Already says that the charge of 1 mole of electron is said to be Faraday. So therefore W is equal to EIT by 96,500. So this is the Faraday first law. The amount of substance deposited to electrodes is directly proportional to passage of quantity of electrical charge through the electrolyte during electrolysis is known as Faraday first law. This is the formula of Faraday first law. Now this can be written. So what is the formula? So this can also written W is equal to E is equal to molecular weight by its valency into IT by 96,500. So this can be written as W by MW into valency into IT by 96,500. So it is also, this is a weight by molecular weight, this is a number of moles. This valency can be taken n factor. So n factor, that will discuss in problems, n factor into IT by 96,500 coulombs. So this formula can also used in problems, some problems, right? So this is the Faraday first law. Next I am going to explain about second law. Faraday's second law. Right. When different electrolytes, you can take in different electrolytes can be taken. So these electrolytes are connected in series connection, like series connection. Right. So these are the electrolytes like copper sulfate, AgNO3, like zinc sulfate. Here different electrolytes can be taken. Its electrodes are copper. This is copper. This is copper. This is silver. This is silver. This is zinc. So here different electrolytes can be taken, and passing of current also same quantity. So the passing of electrical quantity of electrical charge is same. That all that are connected in a series connection. So same current is passed. Passed through this electrolyte. Same current is passed through the electrolytes. So what is the so how much amount of substance is deposited at electrode? That is how it is varies with the equivalent weights. So this is says second law of Faraday. So equal quantity of current pass when, so what is that law? When equal or same current, when same quantity of electrical charge passed through the different electrolytes, when same quantity of electrical charge passed through the different electrolytes, the amount of substance, the weight of substance or the amount of substance, the weight of substance deposited at, the weight of substance deposited at electrodes, the weight of substance deposited at electrodes is directly proportional to equivalent weights, is directly proportional to equivalent weights, equivalent weights. So that means W is directly proportional to E. That means W1 is to W2 is to W3. Yeah, the weight of substance deposited at first electrolyte, like a first electrode, that is W1, this is W2, this is, we can say W3. Its equivalent weights we can say E1, its equivalent we can say E2, this its equivalent we can say E3. So this is the weight of substance deposited at electrode. So W1 is to W2 is to W3 is equal to E1 is to E2 is to E3. So this is the second law. This is the Faraday second law. Okay, what is that? When same quantity of electricity is passed through the different electrolytes, this amount that, okay, different electrolytes, the weight of substance is deposited at electrodes is directly proportional to equivalent weights. So its equivalent weight is varies, the weight of substance deposited at electrode is also varies. So that, so this is the second law of Faraday's. Now I am going to explain about some problems on these concepts. Right. So first of all, how much charge is required per reactions? So the quantity of electric charge required to deposit 1 gram equivalent of any substance is called Faraday. Okay, already says that 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs. So in the previous definition, the number of charge of 1 mole of electrons, the number of charge of 1 mole of electron, 1 mole of electron. So 1 mole of electrons means 6.023 to 10 to the power 23 electrons into number of charge. What is charge of electron? 1.602 into 10 to the power of minus 19 coulombs. So according to this, we got 96,500 coulombs. 1 Faraday is equal. This is the another definition. What is the first definition? The number of charge of 1 mole of electron is said to be 1 Faraday. 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs. According to second definition, the quantity of electric charge required to deposit 1 gram equivalent of any substance is called 1 Faraday. For example, 1 mole of Na. 1 mole of Na, like Na plus gains 1 electron, gives Na. Here, so here, okay, 1 Faraday, here 1 electrons means 1 Faraday, 1 mole of Na, 1 mole of Na. Similarly, Mg2 plus gains 2 electrons gives rise to Mg. Here 2 Faraday is equal to 1 mole of Mg, 1 mole of Mg. Similarly, Al3 plus gains 3 electrons gives rise to Al. Here 1 mole of Al required how much? 3 electrons, like 3 Faraday. Right. So this is that. The quantity of electrical charge. So the charge of electron, the quantity of electrical charge like 1 electron, like required 1 Faraday for 1 gram equivalent of substance. 1 gram equivalent. What is the gram equivalent? What is the gram equivalent? Weight by equivalent weight. Equivalent weight. So weight by equivalent weight. For example, 23 gram of sodium. 23 gram. Its weight is 23, and its equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight by charge. So molecular weight how much? 23 by charge Na plus 1. So like 1. That is 1 gram equivalent. So 23 gram of Na is equal to 1 gram equivalent. So this is, so 1 mole of Na requires 1 Faraday, right? Now this can be written as 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs, or 1 mole of electrons, or 1 gram equivalent, or 23 gram of, like sodium, 23 gram of Na is equal to 1 mole of Na, Why? So if what is the number of moles? Number of moles is equal to N is equal to weight by gram molecular weight. Weight 23 gram. It's more gram molecular weight is also 23 cancel 1. Okay, if you can take an mg, like 12 gram of mg. So 1 Faraday is equal to 12 gram of mg. 1 by 2 mole of mg. How it is written? So right, mg 2 plus gains 2 electrons gives rise to mg. It requires 2 Faradays. Per 1 Faraday, okay, how much, what is the weight, gram molecular weight of 1 mole of mg? 24 grams. So for 2 Faraday 24, 1 Faraday is equal to by 2, that means 12 grams. Its number of moles also 1 by 2. Similarly, 9 grams of Al3, 9 gram of Al is equal to 1 by 3 mole of Al. How? So what is the molecular weight of aluminum? 27. So its number of mole 1, how much? 1 is equal to weight is equal to 27 gram by its gram molecular weight also 27. So 27. But Al3 plus gains 3 electrons gives rise to Al. Here how much? Okay, 3 Faraday requires 1 mole of Ala. Okay, per 1 Faraday 1 by 3 mole, right? Okay, 1 by 3 mole, 9 grams. How 9 grams? It's weight. Okay, we know that number of moles 1 and 27 grams. Number of moles 1 by 3rd. Its gram molecular weight is 27 grams. What its weight? So weight is equal to 27 into 1 by 3 is equal to W. 3 1 ja, 3 9 ja. So this is the 9 gram of aluminum. Similarly, 1 gram of H2. 1 gram of H2 is equal to 1 by 2 mole of H2 is equal to 22.4 liter. Okay, at STP 1 liter of any gas occupies 22.4 liter of volume. At STP 1 liter of any gas occupies 1 mole, at STP 1 mole of any gas occupies 22.4 liter volume. So for 1 mole 22.4 liter, per 1 by 2 mole how much? 11.2 liter. 11.2 liter volume of H2. This is the conversions. Okay, if we can write a number of conversions. Now, according to this, a solution of nickel nitrate is electrolyzed between platinum electrodes using 0.1 Faraday electricity. How many moles of Ni will be deposited at the cathode? So this is the NiNO3 is ionized to Ni2 plus and NO3 2NO3 minus, right? So between the electrodes using the right. Okay, deposit means at anode Ni2 plus gains 2 electrons gives rise to Ni. Here 2 electrons, like 2 Faraday is required per 1 mole of Ni. 2 Faraday is required per 1 mole of Ni. So 1 Faraday how much? 1 by 2 mole of Ni. 1 by 2 mole of Ni. Here how much moles are given? 0.1 Faraday. So like 0.1 Faraday, how much? 0.1 into 1 by 2. 0.2, right, 0.2, okay, 1 Faraday, 1 by 2 moles of Ni required. So 0.1 moles, 0.1 Faraday gives rise to 0.1 into 1 by 2 moles of Ni. So 2 1 ja, 2 0.05 ja. So this is the answer, right. Next, going to another sum. Calculate the number of coulombs. Number of coulombs. This is coulombs. Number of coulombs required to deposit 5.4 gram of Al when the electrode reaction is Al3 plus, this is reaction given, right. Number of coulombs are asked. So we know that 3, okay, here this is the reaction. 3 electrons means 3 Faraday gives rise to 1 mole of Al. 1 mole of Al. So for 1 mole of Al, how much? 3 Faraday. 1 Faraday is equal to 96,500 coulombs. Okay, right. Calculate the number of coulombs required to deposit of 5.4 gram. So for 1 mole of Al, 3 into 96,500 coulomb electricity is required. But okay, 1 mole of Al is equal to how many grams? Okay, 1 mole. Okay, what is the formula? Mole number of moles equal to weight by gram molecular weight. What is the gram molecular weight of aluminum? 27. That means weight is equal to 27 grams. So 1 mole of Al is equal to 27 gram of Al. Requires 3 into 96,500 coulombs. So for 1 gram, 3 by 27 into 96,500 coulombs. And here how much grams are asked? 5.4 grams. 5.4 grams. For 5.4 grams of aluminium requires 3 by 27 into 96,500 into how much is okay, 5.4 is given, 5.4. So 3 1 ja, 3 9 ja. So if it, which is simplified, we got answer. So this is the answer, right. Next I am going to explain about resistance, resistivity, conductance, specific conductance, molar conductance, equivalent conductance, right. Okay, first of all we will discuss about resistance. Resistance. So this is an electrolyte. This is an electrolyte. So here the two electrodes are present in this electrolyte. These two electrolytes are separated with L distance. The cross section area of these electrodes are A. The cross section area of these electrodes are A, right. Now every substance obstructing the passing of current, every substance obstructing the passing of current, so that property is said to be resistance. So ప్రతి సబ్స్టెన్స్ అనేది ఆ పాసింగ్ ఆఫ్ కరెంట్ని ఏం చేస్తుందంటే అపోజ్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ ప్రాపర్టీని మనం ఏమంటామంటే రెసిస్టెన్స్ అంటాం. రెసిస్టెన్స్ ఈజ్ రిప్రజెంటెడ్ బై ఆర్. సో ద ప్రాపర్టీ ఆఫ్ every substance obstructing the passing of current. So the property of obstruction of passing of current is said to be resistance. Oppose the current. The property of opposing of passing of current is said to be, simply we can say resistance. Resistance is represented by R. Generally A resistance of an electrolyte is directly proportional to L, and also resistance is directly proportional to its cross sectional area of that electrodes. So the resistance of an electrolyte is directly proportional to separation between the distance between the separation of electrodes like L, and it is inversely proportional to the cross sectional area of electrodes like A. So when these two can be written combinedly, R is directly proportional to L by A. So if proportional can be removed, we can write R is equal to rho L by A. R is equal to rho into L by A. R is equal to rho into L by A, right? So here rho is said to be constant, so that it is said to be resistivity. Rho is said to be resistivity, or rho is said to be resistivity or specific resistance, or specific resistance. So rho is said to be resistivity or specific resistance. Now, so here already we can say it's the definition of R. What are its units? Ohm. Its units are ohm. It is represented by this O, right? Now, resistivity or specific resistance. Okay, the resistance of an electrolyte is unity when the resistance of an electrolyte when the electrodes are separated with 1 centimeter distance, and its cross sectional area is 1 centimeter square, is known as resistivity or specific resistance. So R is equal to rho, in which cases L అనేది ఆ రెండు ఎలక్ట్రోడ్ల మధ్య డిస్టెన్స్ అనేది 1 అయినప్పుడు అండ్ ఇట్స్ క్రాస్ సెక్షనల్ ఏరియా 1 అయినప్పుడు ఆ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ యొక్క రెసిస్టెన్స్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే రెసిస్టివిటీ అంటారు. సో ద resistance of electrolyte when the electrodes are separated with 1 centimeter length distance, and the cross sectional area of an electrode is 1 centimeter square, is known as specific resistance or resistivity. So it is represented by rho. So what are its units? Listen to me. Alright, specific resistance. Rho is equal to R into A by L. R into A by L. So R into A by L. Right. Now what are its units? Ohm. This is area, centimeter square. This is length, centimeter. So centimeter cancel. Ohm centimeter. So these are the units of resistivity or specific resistance. Now I am going to explain about conductance. Conductance is represented by CRG. Conductance is represented by CRG. So C is equal to the reciprocal of resistance is said to be conductance. What is that? The reciprocal of resistance is said to be conductance. So it is also says that the reciprocal of resistance. Okay, the reciprocal of resistance is known as conductance. Okay, what are its units? 1 by it is represented by CRG. So 1 by ohm. So 1 by ohm can be written as ohm inverse. Ohm inverse can be written as mho, or its symbol we can write its. So this is what its reverse, this. So ohm inverse or mho or this. This is the conductance. Its units also Simon, right? So these are the mho or this or Simon or ohm inverse. This is the conductance. Now I am going to explain about specific conductance. specific conductance. So it is represented by kappa. So this letter is said to be kappa, right? Kappa. Specific conductance is also known as specific conductivity or conductivity. 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 Right. Both are same. So, what is the definition of specific conductance? Specific conductance is represented by kappa. Kappa is equal to 1 by rho. 1 by rho. The reciprocal of resistivity. The reciprocal of resistivity is known as specific conductance. The reciprocal of specific resistance. The reciprocal of specific resistance is known as specific conductance or conductivity. So it is also says that the conductance of 1 milliliter or 1 centimeter, 1 cubic centimeter, 1 cubic centimeter like centimeter cube of an electrolyte is also known as specific conductance or conductivity. So ఒక 1 milliliter ఆఫ్ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ యొక్క కండక్టెన్స్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే స్పెసిఫిక్ కండక్టెన్స్ అని అంటాం. ఓకేనా? ఆర్ 1 క్యూబిక్ సెంటీమీటర్లో ఉన్న కండక్టెన్స్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే స్పెసిఫిక్ కండక్టెన్స్ అంటాం. సో వాట్ ఆర్ ఇట్స్ యూనిట్స్? ఓకే, వాట్ ఆర్ ఇట్స్ యూనిట్స్? యూనిట్స్ kappa units. Okay, right. 1 by rho, that means 1 by rho, this 1 by, what are its units? Rho 1 by ohm centimeter. 1 by ohm centimeter, that means ohm inverse into centimeter inverse. So ohm inverse can also written mho or Simon into centimeter inverse or mho into centimeter inverse. This is the units of kappa. Okay, we know that resistance, resistivity or specific resistance, conductance or specific conductance. Now I am going to explain about so what are units of R? Units R is equal to ohm, rho is equal to right, rho is equal to RA by L, ohm centimeter, right. Conductance, what are its units? Ohm inverse or mho or right or Simon. Now kappa, what are its units? 1 by rho, like mho into centimeter inverse or Simon into centimeter inverse. So these are the units of these 4 characteristics. Now cell constant is also represented by G star. Cell constant is also represented by G star, right? It is represented by G star. So G star is equal to the ratio of distance between the electrodes and cross sectional area of electrodes. This L by A is known as cell constant. So what are its units? L centimeter by A centimeter square. Okay, centimeter cancel, 1 by centimeter. So this is centimeter inverse. This is the units of cell constant. So what are the units of cell constant? Centimeter inverse. Now what is the relation between relation between G star and kappa and R. Right. We know that R is directly proportional to L and R is inversely proportional to A. So that can be written R is equal to rho L by A. Right. So already says that. So this can be written. So R is equal to 1 by kappa into G star. We know that L by A is equal to G star and kappa is equal to 1 by rho and rho is equal to 1 by kappa. So this is the relation between R 1 by kappa into G star. Now I am going to explain about molar conductance and equivalent conductance. Molar conductance and equivalent conductance. So your molar conductance is represented by lambda m. Equivalent conductance is represented by EQ. Right, now molar conductance is represented by Xi m at C concentration at C. Right. So what is the definition? The conducting power of all ions. The conducting power of all ions present in 1 mole of electrolyte. 1 mole of electrolyte is known as molar conductivity. So similarly same, the conducting power of all ions electrolyte present in solution is known as molar conductivity. The conducting power of all ions of 1 mole of electrolyte here, the conducting power of all ions present in 1 gram equivalent of electrolyte in solution is known as equivalent conductance. It is represented by lambda m. It is represented by lambda EQ. Right. So lambda, what its formula? Right. So lambda m, it is also represented by mu or lambda. Right. M is equal to, so the molar conductance at the molar conductivity of right. So Xi m is equal to kappa into V. This is the one formula. And similarly here also equivalent conductance at C concentration. The equivalent conductance C is equal to kappa into V. So both are having same formula, and it is also written right. 1000 kappa by molarity. So this is equivalent conductance is equal to 1000 kappa by normality. So these are the formulas. So what are its units? So the units of molar conductance is equal to kappa by molarity. What is the units of kappa? So like Simon into centimeter inverse. Simon into centimeter inverse by molarity is equal to mole per liter. These are mole per liter. Now this can be written Simon into centimeter. Centimeter inverse means 1 by centimeter. That means Simon by centimeter, and this can be written liter by mole. We know that 1 liter is equal to 1000 centimeter cube, cc. That means centimeter cube. Okay, centimeter cancel. So what are its units? Simon into centimeter square into mole inverse. This is the units of molar conductance. Now I am going to explain about equivalent conductance. What are its units? So kappa, what are the units? Simon into centimeter inverse, like Simon by centimeter. Simon into centimeter inverse by, so normality is equal to, right, number of gram equivalents by liter. Number of gram equivalents by liter. Volume. So number of gram equivalents by volume. Volume means liter. So this can also written Simon by centimeter into centimeter cube 1 liter by number of gram equivalents. So centimeter cancel. Finally we got Simon into centimeter square into gram equivalents inverse. So these are the units. So what is the relation between molar conductance and equivalent conductance? Relation between m and lambda m and lambda equivalent. Okay, if 0 can be written, that is the limiting molar conductivity, limiting equivalent conductivity, that we'll discuss later. So now what is the relation between these two? Okay, these two are divided. Lambda C equivalent conductant by lambda C molar conductant is equal to, so what is the formula? 1000 kappa by n by, what is formula? 1000 kappa by molarity. So these two are cancelled. So 1 by n into m by 1. So that means m by n. So what is formula? Now this can be written equivalent by molar is equal to same formula. So we know that molarity and normality, what its formula? Molarity is equal to weight by gram molecular weight, like mW into 1000 by V, and normality is equal to weight by equivalent weight into 1000 by V. So if m by n means these are cancelled, this is cancelled, this is okay. What is remaining? M by n is equal to molecular weight by equivalent weight molecular, sorry, so equivalent weight by molecular weight, equivalent weight by molecular weight. So equivalent weight is equal to molecular weight by so we charge like n factor into 1 by molecular weight. So these are cancelled. So it charge like valency. So n by n is equal to valency, like n factor. So therefore n factor is equal to so total positive charge or total negative charge. So this is the relation between equivalent conductance and molar conductance. Now I am going to explain about effect of dilution on conductance. Effect of dilution on conductance. Effect of dilution on conductance. Right. Effect of dilution on conductance. Listen to me. Okay, if an electrolyte we can take in, so this electrolyte can be dilution. Up to this initially 100 ml of electrolyte can be taken. Which on dilution that will increases the volume. So here total volume is 200 ml, right. Initially we can take in 100 ml of electrolyte, which on dilution means adding up solvent like water. So 100 plus 100, 200 ml water, right. So if the dilution is increases, like adding of water is increases, its degree of dissociation of electrolyte is also increases. Dilution increases, dissociation of electrolyte is also increases. Dissociation of electrolyte is also increases, like alpha, degree of dissociation increases. If the dissociation of electrolyte is increases, number of ions increases, and the conducting power of ions are also increases. Conducting power, if the number of ions increases, that means current carrying by ions are also increases. That is the conducting power of ions. What is the conducting power of ions? The current carrying ions are said to be conducting power. Conducting power of ions are also increases. So finally conductance increases. Right. సో ఒక ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ తీసుకున్నాము, దానికి నీటిని కలుపుతున్నాం, విలీనం చేసినప్పుడు నీటిని కలుపుతూ పోతుంటే కరగని ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ ఏమవుతుందండి, కరుగుతుంది, అయనీకరణ చెందితే అయాన్ల సంఖ్య పెరుగుతుంది. అయాన్ల సంఖ్య పెరిగితే ఆ అయాన్లు తీసుకునే పోయే విద్యుత్ అనేది పెరుగుతుంది, అంటే వాహకత అనేది ఫైనల్గా పెరుగుతుంది. సో వాహకత పెరుగుతుంది, ఓకే, మనకి ఈ వాహకత పెరుగుతుంది, రైట్. సో దీన్ని ఏమంటారంటే మనం మోలార్ కనెక్టివిటీ అన్నాము. మోలార్ కనెక్టివిటీ ఫార్ములా అని చెప్పాము, కప్ప ఇంటూ వి చెప్పాము. అలాగే ఈక్వలెంట్ కండక్టెన్స్ని మనం దానికి కూడా కప్ప ఇంటూ వి అని ఫార్ములా చెప్పాము, రైట్. అయితే ఇక్కడ వాహకత పెరుగుతుంది, కండక్టెన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. కండక్టెన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అయితే ఈ మోలార్ కండక్టెన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. మోలార్ కండక్టెన్స్ ఇంక్రీజెస్ అండ్ ఈక్వల్ కండక్టెన్స్ ఇస్ ఆల్సో ఇంక్రీజెస్. వై? ఇఫ్ ద డైల్యూషన్ is increases, volume of solution is also increases. Initially we can take an 100 ml. When it is dilution, its volume is increases of about 200 ml. That means volume is increases. So here volume and Xm is present in which relation? Directly proportional. Here okay, lambda equivalent and V also present in directly proportional, right. That means if the conductance is increases, molar conductivity and equivalent conductivity is also increases. Due to that, molar conductivity and equivalent conductivity are directly proportional with present in directly proportional relation with volume, right? Now here kappa and V are present in inversely proportional relation. Kappa and V is present in inversely proportional increase. If the volume is increases, here kappa is decreases. That means specific conductivity, kappa is decreases. So specific conductance is decreases, like conductivity. Specific conductance decreases, like conductivity decreases. So it is also expressed with, it is also explained with another reason. Here 100 ml. What is the conductivity? What is the specific conductance? The conductance of 1 centimeter cube electrolyte or 1 ml electrolyte, it is already says that electrolyte, the conductance of 1 centimeter cube electrolyte or 1 ml electrolyte. Okay, here 100 ml, suppose initially its volume of electrolyte is 100 ml, it is containing 200 ions. So 1 ml is equal to how many ions? 200 by 100, like 2 ions. When it is dilution, its volume is increases about 200 ml. The 200 ml electrolyte containing 300 ions. How much? 300 ions. Okay, ఇక్కడ వాల్యూమ్ బాగా ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, కానీ వాల్యూమ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, అయాన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, కానీ అయాన్స్తో కంపేర్ చేస్తే వాల్యూమ్ అనేది ఎక్కువ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ మనం డైల్యూషన్ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు వాల్యూమ్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ అయాన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతున్నాయి. బట్ వెన్ కంపేర్ బిట్వీన్ దీస్, వాల్యూమ్ ఆఫ్ ఇంక్రీజెస్ ఈజ్ మోర్ వెన్ కంపేర్ టు నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ అయాన్స్, రైట్? Here if the 200 milliliter solution electrolyte containing 300 ions, so 1 ml how much? 300 by 200, like 1.200, 3 by 2 means 1.5, 1 point. So 1 ml, here 1 ml containing 2 ions, but here 1 ml containing 1.5 ions. What its meaning? Here 1 ml containing 2 ions, here 1 ml containing 1.5 ions. That means here when it is dilution, its number of ions per centimeter cube 1 ml is decreases. When it is dilution, the number of ions present in 1 centimeter cube or 1 ml are decreases. Here 2 ions are present, here 1.5 decreases. So what is that? The conductance of 1 centimeter cube electrolyte is said to be conductivity or specific conductance. So in 1 centimeter cube in 1 centimeter cube volume of electrolyte, the number of ions are decreases. That means its conductance is decreases. So on dilution, molar conductivity and equivalent conductivity increases, but conductivity or specific conductance is decreases due to number of ions per centimeter cube are decreases. Or also kappa and V is present in inversely proportional relation. If volume is increases, kappa is decreases. Here volume is increases, kappa is decreases. That is also another reason. Okay, now on dilution, suppose we can take in concentration of electrolyte and its equivalent conductance value. Okay, concentration, first of all we can take in 1.0 normal, so its value is like 98. So its unit Siemens, centimeter square into mole inverse, right? Mole inverse. So 0.1 normal, like 1 normal, okay, 0.1 normal its value is, okay, on dilution its concentration is decreases. On dilution its concentration is decreases. So that means 0.1 normal 110 approximate values, like 0.01 normal, so 120 Siemens centimeter square. So 0.001 normal, okay, when it is on dilution its concentration decreases, like 135 Siemens inverse. So these are the approximate, okay, these are the rough values, not approximate values, right? Okay, what it's 141, like, so 0.0001 to, okay, like this 158. These are the values. So on dilution its equivalent conductance is increases. Its equivalent conductance is increases. So later same. So later again what is on its dilution, its values, its equivalents cannot change. When its dilution is increases, once upon a time the equivalent conductance cannot increases. So that dilution is said to be, that dilution is reaches to zero, that concentration reaches to zero, that the concentration is reaches to zero, and volume is also infinity, so that conductivity is said to be limiting molar conductivity. So limiting molar conductivity is represented by Xi naught m, or limiting equivalent conductivity is represented by lambda. Okay, this is not Xi, lambda, right? This is the limiting. When 0 can be written on that, okay, that means 0 means here concentration can be reaches to 0, its equivalent conductance or molar conductance cannot increases. సో మనం విలీనం చేస్తున్నాం, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పాయింట్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతున్నాయి, విలీనం చేస్తున్నాం, డైల్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాం, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పాయింట్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతున్నాయి, ఇంకా డైల్యూట్ చేస్తున్నాం, ఇంకా నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ పాయింట్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతున్నాయి. సో వన్స్ అపాన్ ఎ టైం ఇంకా డైల్యూట్ చేసినా ఆ ఈక్వలెంట్ కండక్టెన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవ్వదు. సో దట్ డైల్యూషన్ ఇస్ సెడ్ టు బి లిమిటింగ్ మోలార్. ఓకే, ఆ డైల్యూషన్ వద్ద ఉన్న కండక్టివిటీ మ్యాక్సిమం. సో దాన్ని మ్యాక్సిమం మోలార్ కండక్టివిటీ మనం ఏమంటున్నాం అంటే లిమిటింగ్ మోలార్ కండక్టివిటీ అంటున్నాం, రైట్? దిస్ నౌ ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ Xi. Okay, lambda naught m or lambda naught equivalent, that is said to be limiting molar conductivity. This is the effect of dilution on conductance. Okay, for strong electrolyte, so for strong electrolyte, so this is the graph, right? Okay, this is okay, we can, what is the equation? Xi naught m, Xi m is equal to at concentration Xi naught m into A into minus A into root C. Here A is the constant, right? So this is the straight line for strong electrolyte. So this is a curve like a weak electrolyte. Okay, now when constant root C is the concentration, A is the constant, that is dependent upon nature of electrolyte and temperature, nature of solvent, and this is the limiting molar conductivity. This is the molar conductivity at C concentration, right? When the strong electrolyte is on dilution of strong electrolyte, so the electrostatic attractive force between the molecules is decreases. Initially that strong electrolyte having high conductance. Why? So strong electrolytes like a strong acid, strong base, strong salts are completely ionized, 100% ionized. So that is having more number of ions, its molar conductivity or equivalent conductance is high. When it is on dilution, so ఆ లిక్విడ్ మాలిక్యూల్స్ మధ్య అట్రాక్షన్ ఉంటుంది స్ట్రాంగ్ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ కాబట్టి. అవి ఏమవుతుందో అట్రాక్షన్ డిక్రీజ్ అవుతే ఆ అయాన్స్ యొక్క వెలాసిటీ ఏమవుతుంది, ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది. దట్ నెంబర్, ఓకే, ఇఫ్ ద డిక్రీజింగ్ ద అట్రాక్టివ్ ఫోర్స్ బిట్వీన్ ద అయాన్స్, its velocity of ions is increases. If the velocity of ions is increases, its conductance is increases. So when the dilution on strong electrolyte, its conductance is increases. So when dilution increases means its concentration is decreases. So its Xi m, like limiting molar conductivity, reaches to highest value. Okay, it is the highest value. It is the limiting molar conductivity for strong electrolyte. For weak electrolyte, this cannot touch at that point. That means weak electrolytes that is that cannot 100% ionize. వీక్ మనం స్ట్రాంగ్ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ తీసుకుంటే 100% అయనైజేషన్ అవుతాయి. దాన్ని డైల్యూషన్ చేస్తున్న కొద్ది కూడా అయాన్స్ మధ్య గల అట్రాక్షన్ బ్రేక్ అయ్యి వాటి యొక్క స్పీడ్ పెరిగి అవి ఇంకా పెరుగుతుంది ఫర్ స్ట్రాంగ్ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్కి. ఫైనల్గా అది లిమిటింగ్ మోలార్ కనెక్ట్ అవుతుంది, జైనటెమ్ అవుతుంది. ఎందుకంటే అది కంప్లీట్గా 100% అయనైజేషన్ అవుతుంది. అదే వీక్ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ తీసుకుంటే మనకేమవుతుందంటే అది 100% అయనైజేషన్ అవ్వదు. ఇప్పుడు మనకి వాటర్ డైల్యూషన్ యాడ్ చేస్తున్న కొలది దాని వాల్యూమ్ పెరుగుతుంది, అలాగే డిసోసియేషన్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ అయాన్స్ ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, అలా అవుతుంది. కానీ ఫైనల్గా 100% అయనైజేషన్ అది అవ్వదు. కాబట్టి 100% అయనైజేషన్ అయితే అది జైనటెమ్ అవుతుంది. కాబట్టి ఇది పాయింట్ని టచ్ అవ్వదు, ఎందుకంటే 100% అయనైజేషన్ అవ్వదు, వెరీ వీక్ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్. సో కాబట్టి ఇది ఎలా వస్తుంది దీని గ్రాఫ్. ఓకే, రైట్. దిస్ ఇస్ ఫర్ స్ట్రాంగ్ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్ అండ్ weak electrolyte curves. Now I am going to explain about Kohlraasch law. So what is the Kohlraasch law? So this is containing number of A plus ions, cations, number of B minus ions, number of A plus, number of, this is a number of cations, number of A minus, this is the electrolyte. So when it is on dilution, that means its volume increases. The limiting molar conductivity, that means its concentration can be reaches to 0. So the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte is equal to the sum of the limiting molar conductivity of cations and limiting molar conductivity of anions. అంటే ఫైనల్గా మనం డైల్యూషన్ చేసినప్పుడు దాని కాన్సన్ట్రేషన్ 0 రీచ్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు అప్పుడు ఉండే మోలార్ కండక్టివిటీని మనం లిమిటింగ్ మోలార్ కండక్టివిటీ అవుతున్నాము. అది దేనికి ఈక్వల్ అంటే దానిలో ఉన్న టోటల్ క్యాటయాన్స్కి, దానిలో ఉన్న టోటల్ యానియన్స్ యొక్క మోలార్ కండక్టివిటీకి ఈక్వల్ అంటున్నాం. సో దట్ ఈస్ ద డెఫినేషన్. వాట్ ఇస్ ద డెఫినేషన్? So the limiting molar conductivity, the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte is equal to the sum of individual contribution of cations and anions in a electrolyte is known as Kohlraasch law, where limiting molar conductivity is lambda naught m is equal to lambda naught of A plus and lambda naught of not of B minus. Suppose we can take an AX BY electrolyte. It is ionized to X AY plus Y B power of X minus. It is AX BY electrolyte is ionized to X A power of Y plus Y B power of X minus, right? Now its limiting molar conductivity can be written, how it is equivalent conductivity can be written. So equivalent conductivity is equal to, okay now, right? Leave it here, okay. Its limiting conductivity of cations like AY plus and limiting conductivity of anions like BX minus. But molar conductivity can be taken, its number of moles can be also taken. So X into J naught A power of Y plus Y into J naught B power of X minus. Okay, these are the formulas for limiting molar conductivity. So the limiting molar conductivity of an electrolyte is equal to the sum of the individual contribution of cation and anion. So this, Kohlrausch law is applicable for weak electrolyte. Okay, for weak electrolyte, its applications. What are its applications? Okay, applications. So calculation of limiting molarity, calculation of limiting molar conductivity, calculation of limiting molar conductivity or limiting equivalent conductivity of an weak electrolyte, So calculation of equivalent conductance of weak electrolyte. Now suppose we can take in weak electrolyte like a weak acid, acetic acid. Weak electrolytes are weak acids, right? Strong electrolytes are strong acids, strong base, strong salts. So now generally limiting conductivity of weak electrolytes cannot be measured experimentally, but limiting conductivity of strong electrolytes can be calculated, can be determined experimentally. Due to strong electrolyte is completely ionized, 100% ionized, but weak electrolyte cannot ionize 100%. So now how to calculate limiting conductivity of weak electrolyte? Okay, it cannot determine experimentally. Okay, right? We can take in a weak electrolyte like weak acid, and we can take a strong electrolytes like HCl, and limiting conductivity of NaCl, and limiting conductivity equivalent conductivity of sodium acetate. So these are strong electrolytes. This is the weak electrolyte. So how to calculate the equivalent molar, right? Limiting molar conductivity or limiting equivalent conductivity of weak electrolyte. So Xi naught CH3 lambda naught CH3 COH is equal to we can add these two values, Xi naught CH3 COO Na plus lambda naught HCl minus lambda naught NaCl. So finally we got this value. How? So it is ionized Xi naught CH3 CO minus, okay, according to Kohlrausch law, A plus B minus. So this is Na plus. Similarly we can write this also according to Kohlrausch law, H plus and Cl minus. So what its value? Minus Xi naught Na plus Cl minus. So if minus with multiply, right? So these two are cancelled and this is also cancelled. Finally we got lambda naught CH3CO minus plus lambda naught H plus. So that is equal to this CH3CO minus H plus, right? So by using this we can calculate limiting equivalent conductance of weak electrolyte. This is the first application. And second application, dissociation, okay, or degree of dissociation for weak electrolyte. Degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte. So degree of dissociation can be represented by alpha. Alpha is equal to equivalent or molar conductivity at C concentration by molar conductivity at limiting molar conductivity. The ratio between the molar conductivity at C concentration, limiting molar conductivity is known as degree of dissociation, or equivalent conductance can also taken. That can be written, both are same. right. So this is the second application. Now what is the third application? Right. Okay, degree of dissociation of weak electrolyte, that is over. Now degree of dissociation constant can also take calculated by using Kohlrausch law. Dissociation constant per weak acids or weak base. Okay, dissociation constant is represented by Ka per acids. Ka is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Ka is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Ka is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha, where C is concentration, alpha is the degree of dissociation. So that, and finally solubility of weak electrolytes. What its formula? Zinc atom is equal to 1000 kappa by S. 1000 kappa by S, where S is equal to, we know that solubility, what is the formula? If AX BY electrolyte can be taken, AX BY electrolyte can be taken, okay, how it is minus A power of Y plus Y into B power of X minus. So what is solubility product? Solubility product is equal to X power of X into Y power of Y into S power of X plus Y. So this is the formula, X power of X into Y power of Y into S power of X plus Y. So this is the solubility. By using limited molar conductivity we can calculate solubility, right? So these are the applications of Kohlrausch law. Next I am going to explain about batteries. So batteries are two types, primary batteries. So how to form batteries? So the series connection of galvanic cells is said to be batteries. So the series connection of voltaic cells or galvanic cells is said to be battery. So మనం ఆల్రెడీ గాల్వానిక్ సెల్ చెప్పేసుకున్నాము. అలాంటివి కొన్ని రెండు లేదా అంతకంటే ఎక్కువ సిరీస్ కనెక్షన్లో కనెక్ట్ చేస్తే ఫామ్ అయ్యేదే బ్యాటరీ. సో బ్యాటరీస్ ఆర్ టూ టైప్స్, ప్రైమరీ బ్యాటరీస్ ఆర్ ప్రైమరీ సెల్, secondary battery. Primary battery, secondary battery. Primary, secondary. Okay, what is primary? Primary battery is a, so okay, it is a battery or cell. After its use, this becomes dead. It cannot be reused again. What is the primary battery? The battery after its use over a period of time becomes dead, which cannot be used again. Okay, what is primary battery? The battery after its use over a period of time becomes dead, it cannot reused again. But secondary battery after its use can be recharged and can be used again. సో మనం ఈ బ్యాటరీస్ కొంత టైం అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మరలా వాటిని రీఛార్జ్ చేసుకొని మరలా యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఓకే, బట్ ఈ బ్యాటరీస్ని మాత్రము మనము ఛార్జింగ్ చేయలేము, మరలా యూజ్ చేయలేము. లైక్ మన బ్యాటరీ సెల్స్, మన సో వాచెస్లో ఉన్న బ్యాటరీస్, ఇవి ఈ రెండు కూడా. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ప్రైమరీ బ్యాటరీస్. వాట్ ఆర్ ది ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ ఆఫ్ ప్రైమరీ బ్యాటరీస్? డ్రై సెల్, మెర్క్యూరీ సెల్. సో సెకండరీ బ్యాటరీస్, లెడ్ స్టోరేజ్ బ్యాటరీ, నికెల్ కాడ్మియం సెల్. సో ఈ బ్యాటరీస్ని మనం కొంత టైం వాడిన తర్వాత అవి డెడ్ అయిపోతే మరలా వాటిని వాడలేం, మళ్ళీ ఛార్జింగ్ చేయలేం. ఏంటివి? డ్రై సెల్ని, వాట్ ఇట్స్ అనదర్ నేమ్? లెక్లాంచ్ సెల్. డ్రై సెల్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో నోన్ యాజ్ లెక్లాంచ్ సెల్. డ్రై సెల్ ఈజ్ ఆల్సో నోన్ యాజ్ లెక్లాంచ్ సెల్. రైట్, it is primary battery. Okay, in the dry cell Lackland cell. What is primary battery? The battery which is used after period of a time becomes dead. It cannot be reused again. But what are secondary battery? The battery which is used after its use, the battery after its use can be recharged and can be used again. So that is said to be secondary battery. So what are the examples of primary batteries? Dry cell and mercury cell. So dry cell is also known as Lackland cell. So in each cell, two electrodes are there. One is anode, another one is cathode, and electrolyte must be present, right? So at anode, okay, here in dry cell, what is the anode? Zinc is the anode. What is the cathode? So in the dry cell, what is the anode? Zinc is the anode. So what is the cathode? Cathode is the MnO2 plus carbon. Sorry, here the cathode is graphite. So this graphite is covered with, it's surrounded with mixture of manganese dioxide and carbon. So in dry cell, what is the anode? Zinc. What is the cathode? Cathode is the graphite. It is it's surrounded is mixed with mixture of manganese dioxide and carbon. మన గ్రాఫైట్ రాడ్ చుట్టూ manganese dioxide కార్బన్ తీసుకుంటాం, రైట్? మన నార్మల్ బ్యాటరీ సెల్లో మిడిల్లో ఉంటుంది అది గ్రాఫైట్ రాడ్, దాని చుట్టూ బ్లాక్ పౌడర్ ఉంటుంది, అది MnO2 ప్లస్ కార్బన్. సో అలాగ పైన ఉన్న రేకేమో జింక్. ఆ రెండింటికి మధ్య ఉన్న పేస్టే ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్. ఏంటది? అమోనియం క్లోరైడ్ అండ్ ద మిక్చర్ ఆఫ్ అమోనియం క్లోరైడ్ అండ్ జింక్ క్లోరైడ్, దట్ ఈస్ యాక్ట్ యాజ్ ఏ ఎలక్ట్రోలైట్. So this is the anode reaction. It undergoes oxidation. At cathode, this is the reduction, gaining of electron. This gives MnO plus OH plus NH3. Here ammonia gas is liberated. This ammonia gas is reacted with here the ammonia gas is reacted with Zn2 plus ion. Here the Zn2 plus ion forms a complex. What is complex name? Zn NH3 4 2 plus. Okay, Zn2 plus can react with ammonia to form this complex. Next, here MnO2, the oxidation state of manganese is reduced from plus 4 to plus 3. This is minus 2. So 2 to the minus 4 plus 4. So this is minus 2 minus 1. Minus 3 goes to right side plus 3. Right. This okay. This is the dry cell. Its voltage is 1.5 voltage. So dry cell or Lackland cell is used in batteries. Is used as batteries in torch lights. So remotes, TV remotes, and clock. Okay, for using batteries in clock, right? These are the Lackland cell. Next goes to mercury cell. In the mercury cell, what is the anode? Zinc amalgam. Zinc amalgam is the anode. So what is the cathode? The mixture of HGO and carbon. Mixture of HGO and carbon is said to be cathode. In the mercury cell, what is the cathode? Mixture of carbon and HGO is cathode. What is the electrolyte? KOH and ZnO is the electrolytes, right? So these are the chemical reactions occurred in this reaction. This is the overall reaction. When overall reaction, these electrons can be cancelled. These 2 OH minus can be cancelled. So H2O can be cancelled. So remaining reactions can be written from left side and right side. So what its voltage? 1.35 voltage. 1.35 voltage. So it is used in watches. So these are okay. These are used in mercury cells are used in watches. Okay, watches. Yeah, right. And hearing aids. So small electronic device like hearing aids, watches. Okay, right. Next goes to secondary battery. Secondary battery, what is the example? Lead storage battery. In lead storage battery, what is the anode? Lead is the anode. So what is the cathode? Lead oxide is the cathode. This is the lead is the anode, lead oxide is cathode. So electrolyte is 38% H2SO4 is used as electrolyte. So this is the oxidation reaction, losing of electron can be takes place. This is the cathode, gaining of electron can be takes place. Total this can be reaction, total this is added, we can write these electrons can be cancelled. So we can write finally this reaction. So what it's okay, lead storage battery are used in automobiles. Lead storage batteries are used in automobiles and inverters. సో మన ఇంట్లో ఇన్వర్టర్స్ వాడతాం కదా, దానిలో ఉన్న బ్యాటరీస్ ఏంటంటే ఈ లెడ్ స్టోరేజ్ బ్యాటరీస్ ఇన్వర్టర్స్. అలాగే మన ఆటోమొబైల్స్లో ఆ బస్సులో ఆటోల్లో ఉన్న బ్యాటరీస్ ఏమంటే లెడ్ స్టోరేజ్ బ్యాటరీస్. అండ్ నికెల్ కాడ్మియం సెల్, లాస్ట్ వన్ ఇస్ నికెల్ కాడ్మియం సెల్. ఓకే, ఇన్ నికెల్ కాడ్మియం సెల్ right, what is the anode? Cadmium is the anode. What is the cathode? Nickel trihydroxide, NiOH3 is used as cathode. So here electrolyte is KOH and ZnO. Mixture of KOH and ZnO is said to be electrolyte in the nickel cadmium cell. So this is the total reaction, these electrons are cancelled. So finally we got a net reaction. Its voltage is 1.35 voltage. Its voltage is 1.35. So nickel cadmium cell is used in electronic calculators and electronic watches. So this is used in electronic calculators and electronic watches. So this is used in automobiles and inverters. So these are used in watches and hearing aids. So this dry cell is used in batteries, used as batteries in torch lights and remotes, TV remotes, right, clocks, right. These are the batteries. Finally we can discuss about fuel cell. So this is fuel cell. So in this fuel cell, the energy of combustion of fuels into electrical energy. So the convert of energy of combustion of fuels like hydrogen and methanol to electrical energy. So in this cell, the conversion of energy of combustion of fuels to electrical energy. Here the electrical energy from fuel cell, electrical energy is produced. సో ఇక్కడ మనము ఫ్యూయల్స్ని ఏం చేస్తామంటే కంబస్షన్ చేస్తాం, మండిస్తాం, దాని నుంచి ఏమొస్తుందంటే హీట్ ఎనర్జీ వస్తుంది. సో ఆ హీట్ ఎనర్జీని ఇక్కడ ఎలా కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తామంటే ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఎనర్జీగా కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తాం. అయితే ఇంతకు ఓకే, మనకి థర్మల్ పవర్ థర్మల్లో అక్కడ హీట్ని అక్కడ కోల్ని బాగా హీట్ చేస్తే హీట్ వస్తుంది. అక్కడ కార్బన్ కోల్స్ని ఏం చేస్తారంటే బాగా హీట్ చేయడం వలన బాగా హీట్ వస్తుంది. ఆ హీట్ని ఏమో వాటర్ గుండా పంపిస్తే ఏమో స్టీమ్ ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. సో ఆ స్టీమ్ని ఆ వాటర్ స్టీమ్ని ఏం చేస్తారంటే టర్బైన్స్ మీద పంపిస్తే ఆ టర్బైన్స్ రొటేట్ అయ్యి మనకి ఎలక్ట్రికల్ ఎనర్జీ జనరేట్ అవుతుంది. బట్ ఇక్కడ చూసినట్లయితే అదే ఫార్ములాని ఇక్కడ గాల్వానిక్ సెల్లో సింపుల్గా యూజ్ చేస్తారు. ఆ గాల్వానిక్ సెల్కి దీన్ని డిజైన్ చేస్తారు సేమ్. సో అది కూడా అదే ఫార్ములాని మనం ఇక్కడ గాల్వానిక్ సెల్లో డిజైన్ చేస్తాం అనమాట. సో ద కన్వర్ట్ ఆఫ్ ఎనర్జీ ఆఫ్ కంబస్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఫ్యూయల్స్ లైక్ హైడ్రోజన్ ఆర్ methanol to electrical energy. So right, that is the fuel cell. So in this fuel cell, it is partially used in Apollo space program. Apollo space program లో ఇది యూజ్ చేశారు. ఈ హైడ్రోజన్ ఆక్సిజన్ ఫ్యూయల్ సెల్ని సో ఫస్ట్ ఎప్పుడు యూజ్ చేశారంటే అపోలో స్పేస్ ప్రోగ్రాంలో యూజ్ చేశారు. ఇక్కడ యూజ్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏంటంటే చూడండి, జనరల్గా ఇక్కడ ఈ హైడ్రోజన్ అండ్ ద ఆక్సిజన్ గ్యాస్ ఇస్ పాస్డ్ త్రూ ఈ హైడ్రోజన్ అండ్ ఆక్సిజన్ గ్యాసెస్ ఆర్ పాస్డ్ త్రూ బబుల్ ఆఫ్ porous carbon electrodes. These are the carbon electrodes are immersed in concentrated aqueous NaOH solution. This is act as a electrolyte. So these are dipped. Okay, these carbon electrodes are dipped in NaOH solution. This is act as a electrolyte. These are act as electrodes. Here hydrogen is absorbed in this carbon. Here oxygen is absorbed. So these are act as electrodes, right? Okay, an hydrogen and oxygen gas is passed through bubble of porous carbon electrodes immersed in concentrated aqueous NaOH solution. This is the electrolytes, this is the electrodes. Okay, finally at anode, at cathode, net reaction. So anode was the cathode danger. At anode, what is the anode? This is act as a anode. This is act as a anode. H2. We can take an here. What is the in electrolyte NaOH? It is ionized to OH minus. These OH minus, Na plus and OH minus. These OH minus are attracted to anode. OH minus. We can write 4OH minus 2H2. So what is the reaction? 4H plus 4 electrons. It is ionized to H ionized to H plus and electron. So 2H2 like 4H plus and 4 electron. 4H plus and 4OH gives a 4H2O. Right. So the released electrons at anode are passes through cathode. So that electrons can be written and gives here what is the cathode? Oxygen. At cathode, oxygen. This is cathode, this is anode, and water also can be written. So totally this gives a 2H2O, 4OH minus. So the net reaction. So these 4 electrons can be cancelled. This 4OH minus and 4OH minus can be cancelled. So 2H2O. So what is remaining? 2H2 plus O2 gives rise to here 2H2O cancel, remaining 2H2O. Right, these water vapors can be formed. So these water vapors, this is the water vapors. These water vapors condense to give a water. So that water is used in Apollo space program by using who is that astronauts. So every ఇచ్చేస్తారు astronauts. దానిలో ఉన్న ఆస్ట్రోనట్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు. ఏంటి ఈ కండెన్స్డ్ వాటర్ వేపర్స్ ఏం చేస్తే వాటర్ని వాళ్ళకి డ్రింకింగ్ వాటర్గా దాన్ని యూజ్ చేసుకున్నారు. ఎవరు? ఆస్ట్రోనట్స్. ఓకే, రైట్. దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఫ్యూయల్ సెల్. నవ్ ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ సమ్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఆన్ ఎలక్ట్రోకెమిస్ట్రీ. రైట్. సో ఫస్ట్ సమ్ the conductivity of 10 to the power of minus 2 molar CH3COH is this. Find Ka and alpha given its limiting conductivity. Right, first of all we can find out Ka. Ka is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. Right. So first of all we can calculate alpha. Alpha is equal to, right, Xi mc by Xi naught m. So first of all we can find out molar conductivity at C concentration. What is the formula? 1000 kappa by molarity. 1000 means 10 cube into kappa. So this is the conductivity. Conductivity is the kappa of what its value? The conductivity of how much? 3.9 into 10 to the power of minus 5. This is the kappa value, right? Molarity, what is molarity? 10 to the power of minus 2 molarity. So finally we got okay, 10 to the power of 5, 10 to the power of 5. This is goes to about 10 to the power of 2 into 10 to the power of 5, 10 to the power of 5 into minus 10 to the power of 5. This is 3.9. This is 3.9. Now, so here limiting molar conductivity is given. So its value is 3.9 by 390. So 3.91 ja 3.900 ja, right. So that can be written 10 to the power of minus 2 alpha. And what is Ka? Ka is equal to C alpha square by 1 minus alpha. All these are applications of Kohlrausch law. What its concentration? 10 to the power of minus 2. Molarity is the concentration into alpha 10 to the power of minus 2 whole square by 1 minus 10 to the power of minus 2. So this is simplified, we got answer, right. So second one, how many hours does it take to reduce 3 mole of Fe3 plus to Fe2 plus with 2.0 ampere current. So here 1 farad is given. How it is solved? So here time is adding, time is given, time is find out, and what are given? Moles are given, and a current is also given, right? What is the reaction? Fe3 plus gives rise to Fe2 plus. Here it is reduced, so 1 electron gives rise to Fe2 plus. Here 1 electron gives a 1 mole, like 1 farad gives 1 mole of Fe2 plus, 1 mole of Fe2 plus, we know that. But here how many moles are asked? 3 moles. So that means 3 electrons, that means 3 farad is required. So here what its charge? We know that I is equal to Q by T. Here current is 2 ampere current is given, time. So therefore time T is equal to Q by I. Okay, time T is equal to what? It's Q, 3 farad. Q, charge. What is charge? 3 farad. 3 farad, 1 farad is equal to 96,500 coulombs. 3 farad by what it's I, current 2.0 ampere. So if it is simplified, we got so 3 into 1.5, like so 3 into 96 to 4 ja, 2 8 ja, 2 2 ja, 2 2 ja, 2 5 ja, 2 0 ja, into this 0 ja, 15, 7, 4, 14. So this is in seconds. If it is converted in hours, how many hours is asking? So 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So by 60 in minute, so 60 minutes is equal to 1 hour into 60. So these two are cancelled. Finally we got, if it is simplified, finally we got answer. What its value? Approximately 40.2 hours. Right. I hope to clear this everyone. Please subscribe our channel.